All right. I think I'm live. I think the audio's working. Never tell. Someone wants to give me a heads up in the chat window. Would be great. Let me know if it's going live or not. But speaking of the chat window, let's see if I can do this real quick. I've got to set up my chat window again. Ooh, let's get over there. I got Angus, the, I don't want to call him a shop dog, but he's I'm going to call him Mr. O-ring. He's good for fetching O-rings. They go in his mouth and out his butthole the next morning. He's a O-ring eater. So I'm pretty sure if you guys have sent builds into me to thanks Charles, to get work done, he's eaten most of your used O-rings that have fallen on the floor, unfortunately. Go like this. There you go. Oh, he's getting up on the desk here. Let me get this going real quick. Ooh, turn that on. Yeah, this live stream's the best. Yeah, I can't help that. Thank Rich for letting me know. Michael B. Whoever that is. I don't know who that is. Paul. Hey, Paul. Thanks, Paul. Appreciate it. We got Angus, the shop dog. He's about a year and a couple months old. Miniature wiener, about 12 pounds. And he is a handful. He's a big giant pest. Which is a great, if you guys all know Rich, Rich is Master C Paintball. And, but anyway, I'm going to put the O-ring eater, not shop dog, that's Jason's got the shop dog, I got the O-ring eater. I'm going to put the O-ring eater outside because he's a worm. And he's probably going to scratch at the door. But, you stay outside. They'll probably scratch at the door and kind of go what's going on. All right. All right, I'm back. So, I got some stuff we're going to discuss here in the over some things. I don't know what I'm trying to say. I had short notes, but of course they're out the window. I have some PSAs I want to do. So, public service announcements for shock tech stuff. And I need to grab another part. Actually, let me go over here, grab this regulator, because that will help out. And we're going to do a PSA on shock tech LPRs, and that's something I see a lot of out there that's being done. And while I'm at it, I'm going to mute my phone because that's all I need is to get a phone call during this whole thing. I'm going to actually mute it so it doesn't even vibrate. So let's see who all else is here. I can kind of go in here and like this. Look at this. All right. All right. So back to there. And all right. So let's get going. Sorry, just kind of jerky stuff like that. I have to be really careful what I put on the table to show you guys, because on live feed, the rules are different on live feed, especially on YouTube. So doing like a marker build and stuff like that, it's a little difficult. And there's some algorithms that if someone wants to be a complete bitch, they can, and they can report you, and they think it's firearms related. So, but not the end of the world. You just got to outsmart the dummies. But anyway, let's see. So, did you find or fix any? Oh, did you find or fix any die 3-ways? Did I find? Oh, did I find any fix? Oh, for the die 3-ways. Here, let me put that up here real quick. I will say, so the die 3-ways, and this is my opinion. This is not the opinion of Shock Tech USA. This is not the opinion of, I don't know, anyone else. This is Docfire's opinion on the die 3-way. The first versions that came out, in all opinion, I think they missed quality control. They missed the mark for the price of what they were selling for. And I think that was a big bummer for the people that really pre-bought a lot of that stuff and spent a lot of money beforehand on it. And I kind of wish die would have got in front of it. And they do have good customer service, but On the flip side, I think they just should have did a public announcement on it. But so is there a good fix? Yeah, maybe buy the ones from Free Flow, because I think they're all being inspected before he ships. So I would say buy from Buddy at Free Flow if he's selling the individual stuff. I think he is. The other thing is they're not a bad throughway. They work. And are they any better than anything else? You know, I think everyone's going to debate that. I don't see a huge. I mean, I think the three manufacturers out there that are making throughways, they all make excellent throughways. And so really kind of comes down to what your build, what you need, and then what throughway you think will best fit that. Let's see, I'm kind of here for this is. Did you find a fix? Oh no, here. Not the same one, so I'm going to clear that one off. All right, so PSA, and I'm going to go to this mode. Yeah, it worked. PSA, yeah, I got some RAMs out here. We'll talk about that in a minute. But I have a ShockTech, and I put it up in this camera, a ShockTech LPC, okay? And I've noticed, well, let me kind of back up. It's not that I noticed. I know that there's not a problem with this, but there is a problem with it. There's nothing wrong with this. It doesn't leak. It functions as intended. But if you get some of them, if I get them in the camera here, whichever one I want to get them in, they may be the diameter of the threads a little bit more. These two inner rings right here are a little bit big. So you may, when you put them inside a front block, though, they may not even start it. Maybe you can get the threads in, it's really tight, and then they won't go any further. It's just too large a diameter. Let's see, that's a ShockTech one, and I don't have one that's easily accessible that I know is fat, but this one I've actually machined down. And so if you have bought a ShockTech LPC, and especially if you bought a ShockTech for LPC from me and you had the receipt, I will, and it doesn't fit your front block, I will pay for return shipping round trip to get it fitted. And you need to include your front block so I can fit it exactly to your front block. If you have purchased from ShockTech or any other vendor, if you want to ship it to me, I will do the service for free, but you're going to do round shipping on it. So you're going to pay shipping both ways. I really need your front block to come in so I don't take too much off, and I want to make it kind of like a perfect fit, so it's a nice slip fit in there. It's not snug, but it spins. And but ShockTech does, they are aware of this problem, and it's not a problem. It fits all of their front blocks. And so he has, I know Danny on the new run of these banjo bolts, when they do it, when they run out of these, then he will machine them down. If you do order one of these from ShockTech, I'm sure if you ask them nicely, they will make sure it's the one that will fit a War Games front block. A little bit machined down a little bit. How far to machine it down, everyone's a little bit different. You can chuck this up like in a drill bit, like the poor man's lathe, and you can get some 800 grit sandpaper and you can run around here. It's not going to affect the threads. You're not going to hurt anything. You're just going to take the points off the threads. Sometimes you don't take a lot off, but you can just keep sanding this down. Don't sand down your front block. Sand down this. This you can polish. You can clean up. This you take off that anodizing and it's going to look like garbage. All right, and yeah, you may never see it, but it just looks like garbage. Don't sand down the front block. This you can always replace or get, send it back, send it to me to get fixed. But that's the first PSA out there. Let me see what I got to keep up on the notes. What's this? Okay, so an ecocker. Do they stay mostly tuned, or do they need constant maintenance? Good one. I don't know, it kind of gets interesting when you talk about ecockers. Well, let's hear from the folks that are in here, because I do know there's some people in here like Charles that, I don't know how much ecocker experience, I know he has a lot of cocker experience, but how much he actually messes with the ecockers if he really enjoys it. But ecocker is really no different than a regular cocker. It's just that you have an electronic device that drops the hammer, and you have an electronic device that operates the three-way, essentially, the electronic three-way. And so you can operate a lot faster. So anything that you operate a lot faster, like for instance, if you're driving a Yugo or you're driving a Ferrari, right? Which one are you going to change the oil in a little bit more, right? One had revs higher and stuff like that. So anything that you do that, yeah, it potentially could have more maintenance. I think kind of the older autocockers that were converted to ecockers, compared it to like the carnivores and some of the Jeff Orr stuff and some of the Planet Eclipse stuff, that they really tried to build them for that specific purpose. I think the ecockers are just violent. But if they're built right, stuff like that, they're fine. Do they require more maintenance? I think anything that operates at a faster cyclic potentially can. So, I don't know. Let's see what's, let's see, Greg? Depends on how well you built it. I agree with you there. That's what Charles said. So, I don't know. Tell me what you guys think on that. I mean, I'm not the end-all of autocockers. I'm just a person that enjoys working on them. I don't know everything, and I don't ever claim to. I mean, yeah, okay, I know everything. No, I don't know everything. But anyway, it's I'm not a big ecocker fan. I think if I'm going to have an e-gun, it's going to be something else. You know, something that was designed to be an e-gun. That's just my, personal opinion on that. But, some people love them. And I have to tell you one thing. If you are doing an e-cocker, you want to look at the board is... Oh, man, who's making the board? Who is making that board? I'm losing it. Who's the guy that's making the board out there? The new circuit board. Someone post that up. I can't remember his name. And, let's see what's. Someone will post up there. I just can't think of the name right now. I have one. I'll think of the name of the board. But if you and I'll think of it here in a second, or someone will post it up. But use his board. It's actually really nice. He does a real good job on it. So, and it's updated. It's new electronics. The old boards are just getting worn out. They just, with age, they're starting to just get, yeah, sci-fi board. Thank you, Charles. It's a sci-fi board. I saw your other post there. It said it looked like sick-fi, and I'm like, what? Okay, so what is this? Bless those that enjoy ecockers. To me, autocockers. I agree with you, Helmore. I totally agree with you. So the sci-fi board, really nice board. It's neat that you can use your phone to adjust the settings on it and stuff like that. And I do know I am working on a project. I have to apologize because I'm doing free work. And my free work gets put off the side when I have pay stuff, when a customer buys stuff like that. So I am working on the Sith bow, I guess how you pronounce it. It's from the gentleman who lives overseas. And he lives in a country where it's hard to shoot markers without having F stamps. And he sent me a valve, and I've literally had it for about a year, and he's bugging me, and I'm sorry that I ghosted you a little bit. I've just been buried with work that brings money in, and I'm going to do some work on that. But I do have that valve. It's in a trilogy because that has the same internals dimensions as most kind of newer 11/16 markers out there. Thank you. It is Brandon McCall, who is the one that has Sci-Fi. You guys get a hold of him, get Sci-Fi. But I had the Sith valve, and it is it's pretty cool. So it's basically an MQ2 that's basically uses a different solenoid. It uses one of those bullet solenoids that you see, like the SMC bullet solenoids. That's what they're called. And but they're pretty cool. And I need to do testing. He wants me to do testing on the dyno, and I can look at when the valve's opening and closing, and we can look at different spring rates. And I got to do that. Actually, the gun's on the dyno. I was going to work on it today. I may work on it tomorrow, as long as I don't have any crises that come up. But yeah. So let me do this. Let me go back to this thing because I'm talking to you guys in general. So, hey, it's Jake from Bearderworks. Jake, how's it going, buddy? Hey, if you guys have any autococker needs, this guy, Bearderworks, is the premier, not only autococker, but automag. I meant to say automag. The premier automag shop. I think, and Jake and I talked yesterday about some stuff. But just say, if you have an automag that you want to get up and running and to its full potential, this is the person to send to. He knows all the ins and outs, and he works with Airgun Designs on stuff. So he kind of has like the inside track on, automags. Or if you want to do it yourself, you can. So, all right. Try not to be too spazzy. I did have some Halloween candy earlier. I had That's like these like mini sticker spars in there. They're pretty fucking amazing. I have to tell you that right now. I don't mean to cuss. Sorry, I'm really trying not to do vulgar language at all. Oh, another thing. Virtue clock. This is for sale. It's on Facebook. Buy it from me directly. It is used. It kills batteries. I mean, I don't use it that much because I use my big red, and I don't know. It's not that it kills battery. I don't know. It's frustrating to me. I don't like this one. I just don't really like them. I don't think it's that accurate, but it is for sale. It is best offer. You know, I'm probably put a too high of a price on it, but offer away. It's on Facebook. You guys will find it. Not on Docfire Paintball. Oh, other thing. While I'm here, Docfire T-shirts, Shock Tech hats, and I did change the hat a little bit. The C on the Shock Tech and on the Tech, and then the word Shock Tech will look a little farther apart, so I smashed that stuff together and fixed it, because they are embroidered on the hats, and these are flex fit hats, so they're nice, high quality flex fit. So I have two sizes of the flex fit, the medium large and the small medium. I have whatever it is. I can only see it on one eye, guys, so I can't. My hats always get crooked on my head. Don't mean to do that. I have flex fit, and then I have the snapbacks on there. Some people like snapbacks. They're there. So this is the shirt. I'm going to turn around here if I can and show the back. I can't see myself, but this is the Gunfighter. This is my artwork. Gunfighter Shock Tech USA. So I have that. I have the T-shirts. Where's the other thing? Hold on. Let me grab this over here. Yeah. I have. Oh, the T-shirts are made in the USA. All these are made, you know, manufactured with the silk screen stuff. That's all from U.S. companies. The shirts are made in the USA, although the materials are probably sourced somewhere else. I have hoodies. These are drawstring hoodies. They're not zip fronts, so it has Docfire on the front and on the back. And I'll get the show notes here in a second. It's got the Gunfighter. This is a prototype one, and when you have the hoodie down, I moved the logo, this whole thing down a little bit so you can see everything when it's on your back. That makes any sense? Whoop, flip that over. Kind of cool. It's a logo that I did. And I think those are Gillians or whatever, and they're made in, I want to say, like, Indonesia or something like that. I don't know, somewhere like that. They're not in China. So, nothing against China, just I'd rather not spend our money there. And then there's a few other items on there. There's like the little brim hats, stuff like that. But go check that stuff out. You guys will dig that. There's Bearworks logo on there. Let's see who else is here. All right, so with that, oh, the other PSA. Let's get going on that. So what I see more than not, right here is a CP regulator, and there's that little hole on the side. That's a vent hole. And there's a section in these regulators where you have the high pressure side, which is this side of the regulator, and you have the regulated pressure side, which is this side. And in the middle, the spring pack, that's under atmospheric conditions. If this hole gets plugged with either dirt, paint, or a rubber grip, is what I see all the time, then it acts as the spring has now an air spring. Your reg will not function correctly, okay? And I see the rubber grips over these things. If you do that, make sure you cut a hole in your rubber grip and make sure it's lined up with that little vent hole, so you don't block that. But it will make a significant difference in how this reg performs. And I've done the testing on it, so just believe me on it, all right? Whew. All right, so let's put that away. The CP reg back into stock. Some of my stock here. Okay, what else is going on? Let me clear these off here. All right, so we're going to go into the super source, which is my down view here, and we're going to talk about one other thing. So I posted a photo on Instagram. If you guys haven't check out, just follow me on Instagram. It's at DocFirePB, and you follow me on Instagram. I try to post on there for the regularly. I had this photo of this in my hand, and this is a tool that I make, and it's made in the USA. I don't know where the parts are actually made. I actually assembled this, but what it's for is, and I'm gonna be completely honest here. I did not. Let's see. I did not invent this. This wasn't my idea. This came when the last time I was visiting Daniel Love as at ICPL here earlier in the month. He had. I was helping him build out the the guns for ICPL. So there's probably a couple guns that just don't work because I touched them physically with my hands. Like the beaver tails don't regulate the pressure right, and the barrels have hammers in them. I mean, I was just, if the part fit, I glued it together with some silicone glue. So, but anyway, he had showed me a tool. He assembles these guns all day long, right? And he'd showed me a tool that's similar to this, and this isn't anything fancy. You could probably go build this yourself. That's fine. I don't care. I do sell these on a very reasonable price on my site, so you have to go and buy a load of nuts and bolts. But what it is when he assembles, he puts his valve in. He puts the valve in without the jam nut initially. And then he uses this, which has a nice little dog point on the end. It's nice and smooth. Doesn't cut into the metal. It's not a set screw, right? And as he pushes in with the valve tool, he holds the valve in, and you can see the hole. On a shock tech it's a flat, and on a War Games it's a hole, and then you would screw this in, because it's the same diameter, to where if it's on the shock tech and it's got the flat spot, you want to screw it in where it touches the flat spot and just back it off just a little bit, so it's not pushing that valve off out of alignment, but it is kind of allowing the valve not to spin, and that's the goal. And so you tighten it down, back it off just a little bit so the valve can still slide back in there, but you should be able to take the valve tool out and the valve won't fall out. Then you can get your jam nut, your hollow jam nut, however process you want to Loctite or not Loctite it. You can put that in, and you can work that down on the valves that have the flats. Sometimes you want to loosen this, like start cinching it down, loosen it, maybe check to make sure everything gets lined up for the first couple times of using it, to making sure that you can feel how it's going in. But it should go in really nice, and it doesn't allow that valve to spin in there. And then you can finally finish up with your lock screw, your set screw, which these are the cut point ones, which are pretty much standard. Those cut into the flat face valves, and so the whole idea for me is not have that cut in while I'm installing it. Yeah, you could use this little screw all day long, and there isn't an issue with that. But it's just a tool that he uses, and it really increases the efficiency of installing the valve, and I really like the idea. And so I went home and I full on stole it. Yeah, it's just like the 3 O-ring 3-ways, right? Those have all been done by many other folks, but my understanding is they were first done in production with shock tech. At least that's what I was told. And I'm just going to spout whatever I say because it's gospel, right? But these are available. I think they're like, I don't know, $4.99 or something like that. I don't know, pretty cheap. They're small. They ship really easy, and it's just a nice little piece you can have in your tool. I put a little magnet in the bottom of mine, a little flat magnet. If you can see that. Oop, come on, focus. There it is. And then and so it clips onto the back of a onto that. So yeah, there we go. That's that. Okay, how long am I into this thing? Just look at this. Oh, let's see. Oh, another thing. Tonight at Pacific Standard Time, 6:30. And I think it's going. Hey, Charles, let me know if NFG Customs, if they are doing the NFG Customs Zoom call tonight. I recommend getting on there. There is a gentleman that may be on tonight, and Scony may be able to answer this one too, that has the new Nova. Maybe we'll get some insight on that, or whatever. But it's a new... You remember the old Novas? Old gun Novas? Well, apparently the person that either used to work on that, I don't know. I have secondhand information. I'm not the source of any of this stuff, so and I won't. But yeah, so that person may be on the night. But hit that NFG Customs or NFG Boot Camps Facebook site. You'll see the Zoom call. You'll see the password, the login, all that stuff. You don't need a video camera, although it is kind of nice to see other folks, but you don't have to. You can sit and listen in. You can lurk like a lurker, but at least come in and say hi. At least use some audio to say hello. I don't want to say that much because I'm afraid of myself. And that's AirStar Nova was, you're right, Charles. And so it's the, yeah. But anyway, just come in and say hi. So Charles out of Canada. Charles. All your cocker knees to Charles in Canada. Good cocker guy up there. Really sounds bad when I say he's a cocker guy. He's into auto conkers. Yeah, not into that type of stuff. Yeah, Jake. Super interesting. So I've kind of known about this project from another source, and but I just wouldn't sort it as I've been told to be really secret on it. But the guy has a video now, so on Facebook. So if you look up, I think if you look on Facebook, the Voon Carl. Oh, hey, sure, Jane Burns is here. So if you look on Facebook for Nova paintball gun, should be something new. It was like it posted a couple days ago. Anyway, someone wants to put the link to that. If they have that, link it in the description below for me, guys, or not the description, but in the chat. You guys want to link that up for whoever wants to see that. Let's see. I messaged Greg to make sure he posts the info on NFG page. Yeah, I think it normally is posted up on the NFG page or the NFG boot camp page, and I don't have that. Someone has it posted up, please. But go check that out. That's at 6:30 generally Pacific Standard Time and 9:30 on the other side of the country, which I don't care about. I do care about, but I don't care about. I really don't care about. All right, so let's get back into this right here. So there's the down shot, but let's go to this guy right here because I like to be able to look up and see something. So I kind of wanted to talk a little bit more about rams because my last live feed I kind of glossed over just by happenstance. I was chatting and it just came up and I really wanted to give it a little bit more thought on it because I don't think I covered enough. So I did some research today. And this is not a which ram do I think is better. I'm going to say maybe I'll say the pros and cons of the rams. But I'll go over each ram, kind of the features they have. How about that? I'll go over each ram and the features they have. But I did go out with my measuring tool, my yardstick here, and I measured stroke, which really did not come out that good there. Now did it? Stroke, yeah. No, that sounded bad. This is 18 plus group, right? All right, so I did measure the stroke of something. The beat of the meat is perpendicular to the, yeah. All right, and I wrote some numbers down here. Now, granted, I may be off a red hair here or there, so don't freak out if you're the manufacturer of this and you're watching that I wasn't exactly on my numbers, and don't take my numbers to be exact, okay? And of the rams that I measured, I have the Inception Designs GTR Gentle Touch Ram, which is not pictured here because it's on the gun. And I don't have one that's not on the gun. I had the Free Flow SMC Ram, Palmer Pursuit Ram, and I'm not sure if this is the most recent release, but this is the one that you can unscrew both ends, and I think it is their, I don't think it's changed. Okay. The ShockTech Ram, the TJD Ram, which is probably one of the newest ones on the market that you can get over at, if you haven't gone to No Lane Games, a little plug for No Lane Games, great site, nice guy. He is the exclusive dealer of TJD. God, that's hard to say. I don't know. I'm supposed to kind of be a stutter sometimes, but anyway. And then I took some of the older rams that are unavailable. Okay, just some comparison. I have an Evo ram. I have an Empire ram that are available, but we're going to call them somewhat unavailable. A CCM Wavy, and CCM did a lot of different rams. And this isn't probably their newest, but people seem to like these, are very desirable for whatever. And then a War Games Products. And I have and so I measured stroke. And so we're going to kind of go down through the stroke. So every ram, the Gentle Touch ram was basically 1 inch or 1.03 on the little scaly thing. And so pretty much an inch. The Free Flow, an inch. The Palmer Pursuit, 1.04. ShockTech ram, 1.130. So that's an inch and an eighth. We'll go with that, okay? TJD is 0.955, so it's almost an inch. We'll call it an inch. The Evolution ram, I measured this thing like 15 times, and I got 0.880, so a little under an inch. So let's see if I can do 0.880. So it's literally, how much is that under an inch? If that's an inch, I'm trying to get my thingy here, and I go down to 880, it's like it's literally like a 30 seconds of an inch shorter, so not much, but we'll call that around an inch. The Empire RAM was a 1.37 or 1.3 or 1.4, whichever you want to call it. The CCM Wavy was a 1.08, and the War Games product was 1 inch, okay, give or take. Now, additionally, I said, well, okay, that's how much stroke it has, okay? So the ShockTech has the most stroke, and the Evolution had the least amount of stroke, okay? And the way I kind of look at that is, if you're in that 1 inch ballpark, you're good to go. If it has a little longer stroke, you can always shorten it up to fit your needs, so it has a little bit more customizability on that, or whatever. It's like on a ShockTech. And yes, I'm a ShockTech dealer. Yes, I'm working with ShockTech. Yeah, I'm a tad bit biased, but I do like the Evolution rams. I think these are just phenomenal rams. And they look good. They're really good looking ram. But anyway, but ShockTechs have a lot of nice features on them, fully rebuildable stuff like that. But anyway, you can adjust the stroke on this, and a lot of people will put something on the down or the out stroke. They'll put another O-ring there, which equals about a, I don't know, 1/16 of an inch, right? 1/16 of an inch, I guess. Or you could put another O-ring or something a little, you could almost machine a little piece of plastic or something like that that had a hole in it so the air would go through. That allows it, you can make it an 1/8 inch long. And then this would make this a 1 inch stroke, or you can make it a little bit taller. And then it allows you to actually have this thing stroke out, yeah. I'm going to stroke out here in a second. You can have it actually stroke just past the sear, and then stop just past the sear. And then the return could be, right where you like it, so you have the back block how you want it, right? What makes you happy. You can do that, okay? So anyway, so inside diameters, let's talk about that. Inside, so I took the barrels off and I measured the inside diameters, and yes, I use these. It's close, so don't freak out. But let's see what else is going on here. So we'll go down the numbers. Inception Designs GTR is not the inside diameter, the shaft diameter. That's the thickness of the shaft, okay? And so the Inception Designs was a 0.187. The Free Flow SMC is a 0.157. The Palmer Pursuit is 0.156. The ShockTech is the smallest of all of them, or, well, no, not all of them. It comes in second for the smallest. Is a 1.36, give or take. The TJD is a 1.87, which is the same as the Inception Designs. And the Evo is a 1.57, which is the same as the SMC from Free Flow. The Empire is a 1.56, which is same as the Palmer's Pursuit. And the CCM Wavy beats them all out as the fattest shaft out there at a 0.188, or 0.88, or excuse me, 0.188. Sorry. And then the War Games is the smallest of all of them at a 0.132. Okay, which is 132 to 136 is, that's nothing. They all run the same O-ring size on those general shafts like that. But so that gives you an idea of the shaft diameter, and I don't know, let's kind of talk about shafts, things I like, and I don't have it, but I can show it on this Empire. Because Empire is the first ones that really came out with these little flats here, which makes a nice purchase point with a pair of pliers or a little tiny micro wrench for like an RC car. And Inception Designs on the GTR has the same flats. Super helpful, really nice. The TJD did the same thing. This one's probably the most serviceable, easily serviceable RAM out there. I'm gonna make that right now. You look at the website that No Lane Games does it, their YouTube video or the video on servicing that. He does it out in the field. It's super serviceable RAM for basically every O-ring in it without having to, fully disassemble the marker to a point of, hey, I'm not gonna be playing today. And then you have the Freeflow RAM doesn't have any flats. Evolution doesn't have any flats. Palmer's no flats, unless his new ones do, and I don't know if they do. I don't have them. I didn't look on the website. CCM ShockTech doesn't have flats, but what it does have is, which acts just like flats. It has an 1/8 inch broached. Come on, get in there. It's a broached end for an 1/8 inch Allen. That then you unscrew this fitting, okay, and then you put an 1/8 inch Allen down the barrel, and you can adjust it for installation. It's really nice. This isn't something like a field adjustment. Hopefully you're not using that for field adjustment. Another kind of PSA, when you put these on the ShockTech, when you put these swivel barbs on the end, these little clippered swivel barbs, if you get an O-ring, and I'm going to see if I can get this up in this camera. If you get an O-ring, come on, focus in. I try not to get my eyes out. Actually, if I take my eyes out, it should focus. Oh, I don't know if it's going to show or not. I have a little O-ring. It's a metric O-ring. It's the same O-ring that a Resurrection or a Inception Designs 3-way uses. So they're somewhat common. You put it on there, it snaps on there perfect. I find it a really good. I still run a little Loctite on these to seal them, but the O-ring will seal her up. Especially if you're building your gun, you want to kind of take it on and off as you're adjusting things. But look at the pressures and stuff like that, or whatever. You can do that. You put a little O-ring on it. I don't know if I include them if you buy a RAM from me. If you do, if you want one, let me know. I'll send them to you. It cost me 32 cents. All right. And then, so there's essentially 2 companies or 3 companies, or actually 4 companies. Inception, ShockTech, TJD, and then Empire that have the shafts with some sort of keyway or some sort of flat that allows you to use a tool to not potentially mar that up when adjusting it. All right, so then I went to the diameter. Okay, Mark Davis, Charles Board 1 by 3 millimeter. You beat me to it. I don't know what's going on. Zoom calls. Yeah, I don't know. You guys got an inside joke going on. I think it's pretty funny. Let's see here. Yeah, beat me to it. Oh, I see. He beat Charles. I don't know. Did I say a different number? I probably did. I don't know. It should be a 1, not a 1.3, a 1 times 3. So it's a 1 by 3 millimeter. So 1 millimeter by 3 millimeter. Yeah, if you just go to O-Ring Store, the orings.com or the O-Ring Store, great place. They have them there. Get them there. Okay. Remember, these are live, man. It's when I'm live. It's like I'll screw stuff up all day long, but I don't care. It's all good because no one's perfect. Well, some people are, and they know it. But no one's perfect. So I went through and there's one thing I didn't do, but I went through and I'll talk about that in a second. But I measured the barrels, the inside diameter where the piston O-ring rides, and they're pretty much all the same, except the free flow, which I couldn't measure. Okay. Okay, he says the O-ring chapter, yeah. I don't know. Yeah. Okay. I don't know. But all right. So I measured all the inner diameters of these guys, and we'll start with the Inception Designs, and that's a 0.378. The Palmer's 0.377. The ShockTech 0.376. The TJD is 0.376, another 376. The Evo is 380, well, pretty large. But not by, I mean, roundly, they're all the same. Okay, they're very close. Because they all use the number 10, all right? So the Empire 0.378, the CCM Wavy at 0.386 as chopping the charts of the largest inside diameter, and the Wargame Products at a 0.380, which is that, and the Evo were the largest. The rest were a little bit smaller, and I think, I don't know, well, no, it's, you can change your O-ring size by the piston, how big the groove in the piston is too. So they're all, I mean, they're so close that it's ridiculous. So I do know, like on the GTR, the idea of having a larger piston changes the surface area coefficient-y thing numbers with scales and, you know, slide rulers and stuff like that that engineers are really good with, and it makes the return stroke a little softer. It requires, it just changes their, all that stuff, from my understanding. And so, not significant, and I said I was going to talk about one. This is a non-rebuildable RAM. It's made by SMC for free flow, and it's modified towards their specs. So you have larger input ports, and I think they're 1032nd. I didn't unscrew this. This is in my products, so I'm not going to take this apart. And but they have these holes are a little bit larger, but it's still a stock SMC RAM. There's a lot of options. If you go to SMC's website, you look at RAMs that have 1-inch stroke. Usually the thread pitch on here is not a common paintball pitch, which is 6x32, I think is what it is. Correct me if I'm wrong there. Let's see. Blooper, no stop. Hey, yeah, interesting. Hey. I don't know what that is. Love people's names. Cracks me up. All right. So, but these get manufactured for free flow by SMC, and I have from, and I'm going to test this. I do have a scale, and I'm going to set up a jig when I get some time after other projects. But I want to check the pressure, how much force each one of these operate under a certain PSI from a LPR. Okay, and or not, yeah, LPR. And I want to, and I have I think a really good tool, and we'll see if it works. But I have one of those digital trigger pull weight scale things. I can do that. I do have transducers that are for, like, they're scale transducers. I bought a whole bunch of those for measuring springs, spring tensions. Not that so I could backwards engineer anything. No, I would never do that. Never backwards engineer. In America here, we don't backwards engineer anything made in China, or do we? So anyway, so that's it. I'm going to say this. I'm going to do it this way. These are all good RAMs. I've used these War Games RAMs. You know what my favorite RAM is? Plain and simple. My favorite or bitch to rebuild RAMs are the brass War Games RAMs. They are like buttery smooth. I mean, for a RAM that you can get for literally free because people want to give them to you, they feel amazing. They're just an amazing RAM. Okay, the biggest drawback is they glued them together and you can't take them apart easily, and when the O-rings go in. And all the War Games RAMs out there right now, all these guys, if you haven't noticed, they haven't been rebuilt already. If they have a factory stuff, they're turning to goo on the inside. I'm finding more of that. I'm finding a lot of the valve pins, the valves themselves, and the bottom two valves, the plastic on the valve pins are cracking, and they're at that age. They're just wearing out. So they're all good RAMs. Nothing wrong with them. And I think what you need to do when you go out and buy a RAM, well, I take this back. TJD comes in a nice, I mean, quite frankly, a 3D printed box. This is really nice. Who would thunk? I mean, it's well done too. Who has the time for this? This is awesome. But anyway, I thought it was cool. But they're all good RAMs. And you need to buy the RAM that you want for your build. what is going to fit your build. Are you looking for an old school RAM that's going to fit your build, or you want a newer school that's going to fit like a different build? And I look at like the Inception stuff, very new schoolish looking guns, and their stuff fits together. Like the ShockTech stuff, I think is a little bit, it's a uniqueness to it, and it's more of an old school uniqueness to it. Free Flow is, they had their, for the while they had on their first batch of stuff, they used kind of some of their, I say it's not old product, it's new product they created, but it's the old product from back in the day, which has made this really old school look. And now they've gone back over to dye with a new school look out there. And I think it's cool. Use what you want. You know, that's it. Shane hates the SMC RAM. Yeah, if you know, there are, it's a reality out there. Some people like them, some people don't. I've heard, I have to say, this RAM is really smooth. But, it's funny, with the RAM, I don't feel that when I'm firing the gun, how smooth that RAM moves back and forth. I feel it what's in my hand. It's really smooth. This is like butter. Smooth. Yeah, okay. This is the smooth. A little friction. This is an old RAM, so it's really hard. I don't know. War Games, smooth and needs a complete rebuild. ShockTech, smooth, a little stiffer, but I do know that this is one that I took apart. Yeah, this one has no lube in it, so it is a little stiffer. But here, let me see if I can put a little lube in here, because I took this one apart and the O-rings are all dry. So this is not getting a fair representation. Let me fix that. We put a little Docfire Down and Dirty Conquering lube on it. If you haven't got yourself some of this, you're going to want to get yourself some of this. It's amazing. No, it is just like any other lube. It's just whatever makes you happy. Oh, there we go. Yeah, it had zero O-ring, zero lube on it. So this feels, man. Ah, man. Oh, I need to get the TJD out. Ooh. That one's smooth too. Man, it's all the new RAMs, brand new RAMs, feel smooth. So that was the field test. That's highly scientific. All right, okay, let's go back in here. Yes, I know, Dylan. Oh, yeah. Interesting. So, what else did I have? I thought I had another thing. It's just, how long are we into this thing? I gotta look at the stream health. Oop. Come on, get over there. Analytics. Stream health. I don't know, where's my... I gotta find out how long I've been doing this. Usually it says somewhere. Oh, there it is. We're right at 50 minutes. So, I got a couple more things, I think, before I forget. Okay, ShockTech PSA. Oh, that's it. So there is a new Facebook group. Yeah, surprising, a new Facebook group. What are you talking about? That's amazing. There's never any new Facebook groups. There is a new Facebook group. It is associated and supported by ShockTech USA. It is the ShockTech support page. And in there, you'll find the current listed preferred builders that are approved by ShockTech USA. And those are folks that are not only builders, like Jason Antle. Oh, hold on. So, I don't know. Hey, Jake, can you post it in this thing? I don't know if you can put that in the links or in the chat stuff. But anyway, it's the new Nova post. Yeah. But anyway, so the ShockTech support page is run like the Planet Eclipse Tech Hub, and the idea is that you post up your problems on any ShockTech products okay, I posted it in my Facebook. Okay, so Rich Rasconi has it on his Facebook page. Is that under Master Sconi, Rich? Where you put that? Anyway, let me know. it will be run like that because we want to be able to have the people that are approved techs. Okay, it's not shareable. Okay, so it's not shareable in there. That's fine. Post it up. Go to Beardworks page. Go to Master Scony, and look at that if you haven't already seen it. All right. So, but the Shock Tech page, it's it's got the approved techs in there. So right now, they're approved by Shock Tech USA. Is you have myself, Docfire Paintball. You have Jason Antle with Angry Antle Paintball or Angry Paintball or whatever he wants to call it. You have oh man, now I'm gonna forget. Oh, Tim Furpo with Paintball Tech. You have Mech Paintball, and you have Mark Davis Paintball. You have Boston Paintball, but they are going through some changes coming out of COVID. So, and you have Cousins Paintball, and I think that's it right now. Those are the official supported builders out there for the products that use and support those products. And so if you have, General will be one of those folks maybe responding to you, or it could be me, or it could be Shock Tech USA, it could be Danny. Yeah, Rich says he posted on his page, Master Scony Paintball, and you'll check that out. But they're the approved builders, okay, and then all of them are vendors of the product. So if you have stuff in with Tim Furpo can order parts from Shock Tech and have them installed on your gun at retail price. And same with me. But they're all approved vendors to get your stuff there. And then so this Tech Hub will be able to kind of answer the questions, be pretty simple. Additionally, when you go there, you'll be able to see links to some documents. So I'm slowly producing documents for Shock Tech for instruction manuals and stuff like that to come out, and you'll start seeing more videos and stuff like that. But don't hesitate, go to the Shock Tech support page and put it on your list of things to look at on the wide world sports of Facebook. And outside of that, anyone have any questions? I thought I was here for a second for listening to the kid. My glasses are crooked today. Oh man, I don't know what's going on. You know the funny thing, I have a live stream that didn't get pulled down. That's crazy. Funny how that worked. It's kind of like karma, I guess. Let's see. What is going on? Any questions? No questions? Then we're done for today. Thank you guys for showing up, and I will see you on the next live feed. Let me know what to do, what you guys want to see, and maybe we'll do something like that. But that's